90-day sabbatical from cannabis prior to the impregnation.
Well, but if you're smoking shit with seeds in it, I would agree with you. But the thing is when they were talking about that, that's why people used to put seeds in there. Like, who put a seed in that joint? I can smell that motherfucker.
What is it about seeds?
You know, well, the seeds are male, and like when you're smoking the male hormone that's through the seed and you're cooking it, it puts in like a chemical that affects a hormone within the human body. Does this make sense? Or do I need to explain further? Because I took biomolecular chemistry. I can go way deeper.
No, Dr. Danton. No need to go deep unless it's deep inside yourself.
Well, I mean, it's tickling. Not really. I've never made eye contact.
I was in that jazzy room on a burner account, and we were talking about suicides and veterans, and it's like, I wish the VA had something like Clubhouse, but they don't want to have anything like Clubhouse. What's interesting is the VA doesn't want veterans actually talking or organizing.
Oh, could you imagine if we all got together on a Clubhouse, room, some kind of Zoom, where we could all...
I know, they'd have to shut it down, because basically it would become like it would become revolutionary,
Yeah, 110%. I'm not going to disagree with that in the slightest.
Yeah, I've spent enough time with vets doing therapy, and I'm just like, man, if anybody ever organized veterans, they would be a lethal force. But really, the problem is the government. It's not the discharged veteran. It's
the people. Yeah, it's the people.
Well, the VA is. I'm just saying,
people.
Well, what I'm saying is, if VA did have a social audio chat app for veterans to talk about their problems, too much would get out of the bottle. They'd be like, shut this down. We can't have these fuckers talking about this. Because the citizens, when they hear the veterans talk about how stupid the VA is and how stupid the employees are, they would be like, yeah, shut this whole fucking thing down.
They're like, no, we don't want centralized health care. Because that's all it is.
I know. It's so expensive. I hope the government shuts a lot of things down. And
it's unfruitful. Yeah, I'd rather fire everybody and then rehire back what we need.
They should shut the whole VA down and just give veterans a health insurance card and say, hey, go to your local fucking hospital. Go to your local, clinic. Go, here, we'll pay for it.
Do you know that you could put a veteran in a $100,000 house? All the veterans.
Well,
that would be a spit in the bucket compared to our fucking deficit.
Oh.
And every veteran sitting in a $100,000 house where they don't have to worry about their overhead, other than maybe going to a McDonald's job, because their overhead's only $700 a month and everything's already paid for. If you put them in that position, America will win. From 1775 when the army started to now, less than, I think it's 4.1% of any American that's ever been an American has ever served in any fucking branch. You add all that together, that means 95% of America is being pulled by 5%. But then we turn around and we're like, yeah, we don't give a fuck about that 5% when they get done.
Well, the VA is one of those.
And I'm not even talking about me, brother. Trust me, I'm not talking about me.
No, I get it. I'm just saying the VA is kind of complicated at the end of the day, because there is so much money that goes there, and there's so many doctors and nurses and admin, et cetera. It's like.
Well, they made it a form-driven system, though.
I know.
You can't get anything done through the VA unless you submit this form to this person this way.
They should just shut it down.
It's so convoluted.
They should just shut it down because $60 billion a year to fund that shit. It's so stupid. You go to these VA hospitals and it's like, did you see they had to remove all the transgender and gay flags from every fucking VA facility?
Thank God.
Holy shit! It's like, could you imagine you're like a distinguished combat veteran having psychiatric problems or physical ailments, and you go in there and you're like, why did I do all this?
Telling you to like love minor children.
So fucked up. So fucked up. But thank God that shit's over. And we just have to make sure that shit never comes back ever. That means we can never let somebody like Kamala, or we can never let a Democrat get back in the White House ever again.
Dude, I made a joke this morning about Kamala. Because somebody was like, there's these inner circles that are like being circles of these people that intersect with these other circles, and I'm like, and I came off of mic and I was like, yeah, I told you we needed Kamala Harris. She loves Venn diagrams. And the woman's like, what are you talking about? I'm not talking about that. And then like, somebody else is like, yeah, girl, you're literally talking about circles, overlapping circles. That's a Venn diagram. This bitch is so stupid. She was just stuck in her own rhetoric.
Yeah, I think the thing that I dislike most about all the symbols and all the words is like the waste of time that it creates for the observer and the listener who wants to have like, no, it's like, I didn't opt into this. Like, take it away. No, we can't take it away. Like, this is, anyways, you get it. It's a,
well, dude, it's such a waste of time. Did you see
Thomas Massey was the only Republican who voted no to raise the debt ceiling limit? The only one, Thomas Massey, and he was wearing a Clown World t-shirt. I was like, I've never been so happy in my life that there's at least one man willing to, not be a sellout. Thomas Massey. He's critical of the Jewish special interest lobby, AIPAC, etc. He calls these people out. It's like, okay, I love my Jews, but it doesn't matter who you are. Like, America is for America. We're agnostic. I mean, we're not totally agnostic, but see what I'm saying? Like,
so are we going like Thomas Massey, 2028 president?
Could be, right? It very well could be.
I mean, I don't even know who the person is, but now that you put him on my radar, I'll probably be looking at him.
Oh yeah, I saw him give a speech once at the John Birch Society, and I was like floored because like the speech was my first year in Congress, and he was talking about how Congress acts and operates and what he's expected to do and how unconstitutional everything. And I was just like, I can't believe this. This is like an insider whistleblower who has observed Congress, and he is ratting these fuckers out. But now he's, the only one there. But anyways, it's glorious.
Dude, I love home skillet that wears the hoodies and the shorts into the fucking Congress. I love that. Like whoever the dude that had the stroke.
Fetterman. Yeah, he's killing it too. People are independent.
Dude, I didn't know shit about him when he first got in, but from the time that he's been in, dude, I love that home skillet. Like, honestly, I identify with like 90% of everything that motherfucker says.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I don't agree with anybody on anything 100%, but Fetterman makes me fucking laugh. And then like he's just literally making a mockery of the good old boy system. And I love him for that.
I think his wife left him.
Well, his wife is the reason that, he became a congressman, because he had a stroke, and she's the one that ran his campaign.
Oh, wow, that's right. But why did she leave him? I don't understand.
I didn't even know that she left him.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's news. If I've never heard that.
Yeah, I might be wrong.
I mean, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying.
I'd have to Google it, but I could care less. Like, I just like the guy because.
I don't really give a fuck less either.
Yeah, I like him because he's independent.
It's a moot point. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what are you doing today?
Reading meditations. thinking the more I talk, the further away from the truth I get.
Yeah, I like that one. That one really seems to like stick with me.
Resonate. Yeah, it resonates.
Because it's like easy to forget it too, where you can just become a motor mouth, and then like the cat's out the bag, and if the cat's out the bag, you ain't getting that pussy.
Dude, trust me. When the cat's in the bag, my mouth is on it.
I can't even. I don't know. I'm like confused now thinking about that. If the cat's out that bag, oh yeah, I get it. Okay. I mean, how do you implement that though in your life? I mean, you have your estate, you have your housing, you've got access to all these people to talk to. But how do you fully integrate that into your brain, into your body, and even into your environment?
Because I have plans in my 5-year plan, and things are going to change a lot for me from where I'm at to what I'm going to be doing in 5 years. And there's a lot of money involved.
Yeah, but how do you do a 5-year plan? I mean, because that is still see what you're doing right now. Do you literally realize that you literally just fell out of the concept of the more I think, the more I speak, the further from the truth I get? Meaning that you're projecting into the future, but the real strategy is stop thinking, end your problems. Meaning you're not truly optimizing for 5 years.
I couldn't agree with that. I would never be able to agree with that.
You couldn't agree with the more you think, the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you get.
Within the Tao Te Ching, the way you're referring to it, no, I couldn't, because like as I grow and evolve,
couldn't to what though?
And as I grow and evolve into new understandings and more competencies with more resources, you evolve into a different being than who you are now. So it's not a matter of like, see, the thing for me is like, I always live like there's no tomorrow, but I still plan for it anyway. I live hard to the paint every fucking day, but my money's still, my money tomorrow, and I don't have to worry about my bills or anything that's on my overhead. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the point is, I think with Tao Te Ching, you can strategize if you want. I guess you don't have to. That's the thing that it's like very challenging, is to actually stop continuing, to stop going and doing. I heard Mick Zed on here yesterday say like, yeah, the hermit just hangs out in his hermitage because the world is too evil. And
well, dude, I could be a hermit and lay on my bed and never get out of my bed. But you know what? Fungus will grow on me, and like the world will still continue as I lay in bed and become food for mushrooms. Like what? Like the world never stops. I mean, you either lead, you follow, or you get the fuck out of the way. Why do you think my first name on this app was Doc Innovation? Because everything I do is always thinking about the future and trying to innovate a new way of doing something from an old idea.
yeah.
I ain't never proclaimed to be anything other than what I've ever said on this app, man. People hate me. A lot.
I know.
Like, I mean, look at my fucking jawline. If you punch me in my jaw, you get mad, I kick your ass.
I know. Well, I think people like hate you because you're just unrepentantly you.
Why do I
can't take you because they can't take themselves. Like it takes a
Dude, I,
strong.
I live in a land of I wish a motherfucker would.
It takes a strong. You know, you need to, communicate
What?
with
Or
strong
you
people.
know, with Jazzy just yelling at everybody like.
It's the same thing. It still takes a strong character. It takes a very strong character to have to talk to her. Holy shit! Like,
Well, I mean, dude, I wasn't even born. Dude, my mom got pregnant at 15, brother. I grew up poor as the front door.
mhm.
You know, and that bitch grew up with a silver spoon straight stuck up her fucking ass.
Yeah, but the now is all that matters. So, if you have a child who is mentally impaired,
Yeah, well, I'm not married. My house is paid for. She still lives with her mom with a fucking autistic kid.
yeah, it's easy to just like value judge or like opine on her situation. But the truth is, I just don't care for her. I do not like her.
But I don't opine for that woman at all.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm only talking about her because I'm still working her vibration and echo out of my brain.
Oh, dude, her logo resonating in my fucking head.
She had opinions on a lot of topics, and what's amazing is she has opinions on topics that you would never think that she would even have an opinion on, and you're like, damn, this bitch has got an opinion on literally everything. How the fuck does she even? Why does she even? Why? How does she even know about that? Why is she? And it's all because of this app. This app is like Tony Soprano going to the psychiatrist, doing talk therapy, but what he's actually doing is scheming and working out what he should and shouldn't do by using her as the mirror. And Jazzy is kind of that same person where she's getting access to a lot of people's personalities and opinions and then using them as a mirror. But what she's projecting back out to all those people is absolute trash because she's absolute trash. So, I just say avoid her like the plague. But unless you record her and put that
Dude,
loud
I
fucking
love
mouth on the
going in
internet.
her room just to fuck with her. Because I really do think she's like, unintelligible when it comes down to things. Because, like, everything that she wants to say is so salacious. Like, like, if you
Yeah.
said the sky is blue, she'd like, no, it's fucking purple, motherfucker, what you got? Like, she's literally just saying the opposite of what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
Just to be controversial.
I agree. Her and Adams are really good at the loud mic too. How they can just scream into the phone.
Jesus.
You have to be in a private place to even do that. So it's like clearly she's not working because it's fucking 9 in the morning.
Apparently her kid is being taken care of by her mom because she's not watching him.
Jeez Louise. I can't believe she even has a kid and she's on this app this much.
Well, I mean, she's a PE teacher at school that does a substitute.
Mm-hmm.
And she does that around all the other kids, and you'll hear all those kids around her. And that's what she does, is like a PE teacher substitute. And then she goes home and she takes care of her, child that she's not paying attention to because she's talking to us. And the kid lives with her and her mom, and her dad's passed away. Like, I know so much about that woman's. Well, dude, I can tell you where she lives.
No, I know you have had a lot of conversations with her. Anyways,
I wouldn't dox her like that though.
Yeah, I don't have anything against her personally. I'm just trying to look out for myself by not ingesting at lengthy periods of time.
It's a vile point of view.
Yeah, it's just not productive for me. I need to try to stay moving fast. Stay strong, move fast.
High vibrations. Dude. Hey, you know what? That beer's for you.
Just give me a few minutes and I'll do the same for you.
But yeah, man, I've been around her and Oscar and Sig and KP and it was 3 years in December.
The thing is, I think that though this is entertaining, it's still a little bit like a vacuum in the way that it's not really friends and family. It's more like the short-term dopamine. But if you're not,
Oh yeah.
I don't know, you sound good to me. I'm just saying, like, I'm constantly organizing, constantly cleaning, but I'm also like trying to do nothing as a
I'm
defense
constantly
strategy.
talking to you about your sailboat, and I'm talking about I tried to come up there, last summer, but you're like, no, not now, blah blah blah. Whatever. Yeah, it's all good. Like, bro, I'm a heterosexual man that wants to go to that beach over near where the Lady Hawk is, like, marinaed at, because like
There's not a
party
beach.
like it's 1999.
There's a beach like a block away.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, and a restaurant in between.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because we're almost like, anyways, what was that movie called? Can't remember. But anyways, yeah, the summer's coming up. We have a couple more weeks of freezing cold here. But dude, you won't. Yesterday, my friend Max came over here, and I showed him the coach house on my property. We go in there, and there's fucking water spraying in the utility closet. I had a burst pipe. I didn't even know about it. So for fucking weeks, I've had a burst pipe flooding this little coach house that's in my backyard, and so I managed to get the water turned off, and I cleaned it up, but I got to go back out there shortly to do more cleanup. But man, I fucked that place up real good. I painted everything.
I don't know why you made me think of this movie, but remember John Cusack with Demi Moore, and they were on an island, and there was a guy listening to the radio trying to win the radio station, and they were like partying like
I don't remember
Nutkins Island or Nuckers. What the fuck is the name of that? It's near like the Hampton Ferry or Jersey or some shit like that.
I don't know that movie with Demi Moore.
John Cusack, Demi Moore.
I'd have to Google it.
Island.
I was never into John Cusack movies. But
hold on. All right, dude. Well, dude, that's one of my favorites.
I don't know why people like John Cusack so much. I just don't get it. Like, even that fucking name, it's like, what the fuck?
Cusack.
I guess he's famous. He's pretty famous. He's kind of a dick, though. Did you see him in like some videos or something?
Well, I mean, I've met him like 3 times.
I believe he's from the Chicagoland area. That's when movies were
yeah,
movies.
it's called One Crazy Summer.
I've heard of that. I don't know.
Straight up, it's called like Demi Moore and John Cusack way back in the 80s, and then it was a movie called One Crazy Summer. It was way before she ever married Ashton Kutcher.
I just saw her on the David Letterman show, like an old thing, and she was doing one-arm pull-ups, push-ups.
Dude, she looks like a leather Cheerio. Who wants nothing from her?
Kind of funny how G.I. Jane was like technically a propaganda film with the Pentagon.
They paid for it.
Isn't that fucking a lot of these movies the Pentagon fucking paid for?
Pays for it. Yeah, they pay for it. They don't. People don't realize that the Pentagon has a movie budget.
Yeah, I really wish I would have stayed in the Army longer. Because I look at my class colonel, and he's in the Army in basically Virginia or DC or whatever. my life would be so different. Yeah, he's up there. He's also an executive at like a major consulting firm, and he has an MBA from Harvard. He was in the infantry, and man, in our room. He's like, I can't wait till I get my first headshot. I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I can't wait till I get my first headshot. I'm like, are you saying you want to blow somebody's fucking head off their shoulders? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I can't wait. So when I met up with him like years later, I was like, so what was your first headshot like? He was like, this guy was coming to the gate. We kept warning him and doing warning shots near his feet. We couldn't get him to stop. So I I want
Good deal.
I want to say he said I instructed the private or he did it himself, but he's like I went up to the body. He's like the body was literally cut in half, like cut in half, and he says that even though he no, I think he said he used a saw, but he said even when he went
That's
up,
what I carried when I was in Iraq.
he said when he went up to the body, the eyeballs were moving and looking at him, like he was dead, but he wasn't dead yet.
Dude, I had a dude one time, like the dude that shot me, like he shot me in the arm. I shot him in the fucking ear, and it looked like a cocaine came out the other side of his head. It looked like a pencil went in. Motherfucker. Like, I went over there to go fucking like see if I can help him, and I knew I already shot him in the head, so I was like, head or heart, not God.
That's what my dad.
You know, so I went over there. But dude, like that motherfucker twitched for like a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, my dad was a cop for 30 years. He was like, you could unload a whole mag into somebody's chest and they'll still come at you with a knife. He's like, but one shot in the head. He's like, once you disrupt that cerebral cortex, he's like, you're going down.
Dun dada.
Like,
dude, when my dad got murdered with that 22 when I was 17, man, he got shot in the head with a 22 Derringer.
Oof.
Like 2 bullets went in and neither bullet came out.
Ooh.
They just bounced around and just tore up his cerebral.
Damn.
You
That's
know
wild.
what I mean?
That's wild. That's too bad, man. It's too bad.
Over a fucking VCR.
Yeah. Well, at least it's a 3-letter word, so you could see it as like some kind of divine aspect to that situation. Like, if life is a destiny or some kind of relation, like that's your clue. Like the fact that it's VCR, you know. Sounds ridiculous, I know, but
you know,
I just
virtual reality, you know,
Cortex.
I mean,
yeah, virtual coming reality, but I don't know. I just think there's a 3-letter conspiracy.
Everybody wants to have the happy satisfaction, so it's got to be coming out of their virtual reality.
If the more you think and the more you speak, the further from the truth you get. When you get to 2-letter words, like me too, or you know.
These motherfuckers don't know their ass home, bro. Dude, I live in the land of I wish a motherfucker would. I really do. Dude, I need to roll another one.
Oh.
So what's new? What's new in your day, bro? You doing all right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like today, you know how you know you're like not dying or like fading or caving, is that today is like
you still feel resilient within your own breast.
Yeah, I feel resiliency because I know that like my situation now is not consistent for a consistent period of time. So like the degradation is very minimal, and like that means stability or resiliency, or strength and flexibility. So you know,
the degradation is like the deconstruction of like your environment.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do you allow the degradation, you know, to be influential in your mind because of the words?
No, really, I think housing stability is the biggest issue, you know, which clears up a lot of degradation. So, like you just said earlier, you know, if all these vets could get housing for $100,000, which is totally possible, it would save their fucking lives. Because a lot of homeless vets are dying because they're in the streets and they need housing. So, I'm always been a big advocate for housing issues.
These are the people that fucking went to war for you.
Yeah. Well, see, that's
they're literally the people that went to war for America.
Well, housing, I think, is a human right, but unfortunately, because America is, you know, kind of stupid, we don't allocate our resources wisely.
Housing is real hard because, like, when you deal with like Maslow's human needs theory, you you need air, then you need water, then you need food, then you need safety and security, then you need housing. But why are we not like securing air, water, and food first for every American?
Yeah.
And we're talking about housing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, when you see what Doge is stripping out, if they claim they've saved $200 billion, it's like, can you imagine if we spent
way more.
If we spent $200 billion on housing for vets, there would be no veteran housing crisis. $200 billion would house them all, and we all know it. And we could build houses, and it's a job, and it's a business. I mean, it's stupid that we're not doing it.
The thing is, like last year in 2024, this has been an audit, and it's already been confirmed. Here, I'm rolling up one. Hold on, sorry, I'm looking shit. All right, but the thing is, like, we spent $66 billion on illegal immigrants last year in 2024. We spent $3 billion on homeless veterans.
Do you know anybody that gets a VA housing voucher?
A couple.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've met, when I lived in LA, there were a lot of vets on housing vouchers in Los Angeles, and I was trying to get one. Did not get one. Apparently, it's very difficult.
What's your separation code?
I don't know. I'd have to look at my DD-214. It's medical.
It's literally all based off of your separation code.
Yeah, mine is medical. Whatever the medical code is for the.
You med boarded.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. That your separation code will be a little bit different than somebody like myself.
Yeah, I couldn't even get the GI Bill, but I was getting the GI Bill when I was in college, but because I didn't deploy to Afghanistan or Iraq, they won't give me the fucking post 9/11 GI Bill. It's so ridiculous. Only because I didn't go overseas. It's so stupid.
Well, you were stuck on Montgomery?
I've applied for the Montgomery. They don't even give me the Montgomery. And I have the contract paperwork from when I enlisted as a PFC in the fucking infantry. I'm like, it's right there. You guys promised me. Like, the VA sucks. Their system sucks.
You're preaching to the choir over here, brother. Like,
because it's so disconnected from the fucking military.
They denied me PTSD. I put in for PTSD in 2010. They gave it to me in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a $200,000 check.
Mm-hmm.
But I would give all that fucking money back for actually having real good health care and my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than going and like self-medicating through alcohol and ruining all the relationships I had in my life.
But you have to.
I literally ruined so many relationships in my life, John.
Oh, believe me, you're preaching to the choir over here.
With my mom. I know your mom's gorgeous. I get it.
Listen,
my mom is gorgeous too. But I ruined my relationship with her because of my alcoholism.
Oh, I know, but the thing is, you're still in the now.
$200,000 and it makes them good.
Yeah, well, you know what? Do you know over fucking 10 years they got $800 billion? I'm pretty sure a $200,000 check is like a fucking ant crawling out of some doctor's asshole over there. Believe me, the veterans don't get shit. It's the fucking employees at the VA that get everything. They're making $150,000 a year. Some VA employees are $400,000 a year.
I would have gave it all back.
It's easy to. I know, but that's like saying I want to go live in Cotton Candyville and like live the rest of my life in fucking cotton candy with pussy everywhere. It's just not going to happen. It does. You're saying something which it goes back to what we were saying about the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you get. It's like there's bigger. You see what I'm saying? Like, there you go. No, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to the gym shortly, but I am drinking coffee and smoking. Yeah, dude, I can feel it. Like, man, if I eat and drink a lot, I can feel my fucking toes tingling, and I'm like, uh-oh.
It's needles.
I'm like, uh-oh, my uric acid is going up. I can feel it in my toes. Look out. Take it easy now. Don't over. The biggest problem is overeating. Just having a huge meal. You know, it's very hard on the body.
Dude, I live my life by my diet.
Yeah, I like to.
I know that people don't. I know that people don't like the fact that I drink beer the way that I drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
But beer to me, and when the way I drink it, like I've had 20 beers already this morning. Do I sound incoherent or like not understanding what the fuck I'm talking about?
No, but
No.
if you looked at what 20 beers looked like in like one giant, you
Yeah.
know, soup can or something,
Well,
and you poured it out, you'd be like, how can I drink that much beer? Maybe I should cut it down to like a fourth, put a little OJ in it, and just drink some water.
Well, one can of beer is 100 calories. It's literally just liquid bread. So I'm dealing with 5.
But there's high fructose. There's high fructose corn syrup in there.
I'm dealing with 5% alcohol. You know, as like the brain inducer. But the bottom line is, when I drink 20 beers a day, that's 2,000 calories of carbohydrates.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking calories, which essentially are dumb calories, because like if you were to have a chicken sandwich and
how do you make adenine triphosphate? What, do you want to go on a Krebs cycle?
What was I going to tell you?
Again, went to school for microbiology.
I know. There's this alcoholic in my neighborhood who I always see at the bars in my neighborhood, and his name is Dominic. He's a very nice older gentleman, but he is a fucking shitty alcoholic. And I'm like, I saw him at the grocery store. I'm like, every alcoholic forgets that a glass with ice and water is also a cocktail. It's a drink. It's called water on the rocks. And many people forget that that is actually a very tasty drink. And it's just like a way to reframe what you're drinking. Meaning like, fuck, man, water with ice, it's great.
Or you could listen to my grandmother, who would tell me that, son, if you put ice in your water, the water, is cold. And it slows down your digestive system. So you can't actually absorb the water. So when you put the water and just drink it at room temperature, your body is able to absorb it without being stunted by being cold.
Yeah.
Dude, we grew up different ways, brother.
Oh, I know. I mean, I had a nice life as a child. My dad was a cop. My mom was a postal carrier. They did the best they could. But even then, they were arguing all the time, fighting all the time, very violent, high emotional fights. They were not well-regulated people. They did not know how to relax themselves. They were so uptight.
Well, dude, why do you think I never got married, man? I watched my mom do it 4 times. I watched my dad do it 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why the fuck do I want to do that? And everybody looks at me like I'm weird, like I should be doing the same thing that everybody else did. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
I just, you know what? It's like I wanted to get married, but at the same time, I knew that I wasn't all there psychologically for like the long run. And I was like, why would I want to ruin somebody's life and take away from what they could have if I think that I'm not going to actually be able to make this work for her? Because I do feel like a little chivalrous, where I feel like, as a man, like, if you're gonna have a wife and kids,
not dead. Chivalry is not dead.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I think I believe honestly that like if you become an officer,
there's just not a lot of women that deserve chivalry. Roger Mayhem. Oh, you just brought up another one.
I was gonna say. I mean, you shouldn't take a wife if you can't provide. You just really shouldn't. And that's why there are so many single mothers out there. but it's also psychological, meaning that it's not just the man, it's the woman too. Like there's a major psychological problem going on in population.
Honestly, holy crap, this thing's making me cough. Alright, but seriously, like, John, when it comes to like people like Jazzy with a child that is special needs, in my life right now, if Jazzy was a demure and respectful woman the way that I can, get down with, I would literally raise her child. She can go work, make her own fucking money. The house is already paid for. I'll homeschool her kid. I have 3 college degrees, so I'm pretty sure I can teach that kid some, interesting shit. Like, I had a Commodore 64 back in the 80s. Like, I'll figure out what the fucking kid is, like, interested in, what motivates his brain.
Hmm.
I can find out those things, and I can excel that child in those areas.
Well, I encourage you to keep telling Jazzy this because I bet you it fucking makes her angry as all hell.
Yeah, but the thing is like, she'd rather be hanging out with her mom, with her kid, and not letting the kid being raised by somebody that, like literally, I get it, she's black. I'm a white boy, in comparison. Like, between her and I, like, do you think that if I raised her kid for like 5 years, from like, say, he's 5 years old now, if I raised him from 7 to 12, do you think that kid would like grow up and like play baseball and know how to catch a ball and like know how to like, figure out an algebra equation? Like, I would be that dad. The problem is these women, they're not worthy. I really don't think they're worthy. Yeah, record that shit. I know replays are on. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Never
Well,
had.
see, I believe that if you want, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just all about relaxation. Like to me, that's the big thing: equilibrium, balance, your vibration. So, if your vibration is super positive, you'll either do super positive things or you will talk about nothing, which is like the silence aspect, not talking about nothing, meaning like you're talking, fucking bullshit.
But to my point though, when it comes to these women, like, they'll use kids against the men, and in order to be able to like secure their positions of whatever the fuck they're trying to secure. But these men around these days, they're just getting fucked. And the ones that are growing up from these single moms, they're not even fucking men.
I agree. I mean, the problem is education. You've had a lot of education and a lot of experience, so your brain is very, sharp and highly conditioned. But maybe your consumption of all this beer, look at it backwards: REEB, reeb, which is like, I don't even know what that means. Beer doesn't have like an opposite, does it? That's why I think beer and cannabis are essentially like beer, cannabis, and wine are probably the oldest.
Do you know where beer comes from?
Like what kind of grain?
No. Do you know where it comes from?
It's hops. It's a barley or some kind of.
What year? What country?
Germany.
Nope.
Probably France.
Nope.
Britain or Italy?
Nope.
Oh, Egypt.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I always forget about Egypt. I think I forget about Egypt, or people don't think about Egypt very often in terms of like compression, is because it's so far back that that the pharaohs, it's such old
Well,
history. It's amazing.
remember the story of like, what was his name with the robe of many colors? Was it Jacob?
Joseph.
Joseph in his robe of many colors. All right, and then like his brothers threw him in a well and then sold his ass to a bunch of Bedouins that were going to Egypt, and then he ended up become the son of Pharaoh because he was best friends with the son of Pharaoh. And then when the brothers during the famine showed up, in Egypt, they were at the silos where the grain was. And they're like, hey, and like they didn't even recognize Joseph because, he had been, tanned up and he looked, Egyptian the way that he was like garbed, But the thing is, like, when he's like, I'll give you grain as long as you bring your father back here. And they were like, yo, what are you talking about? And all the four brothers, Jacob, were like, what are you talking about, man? And then so they went and like, yeah, we need grain, our family, and we're famine. We need food. So they went and grabbed their father and brought him back. And Jacob looked at his dad. He's like, hey, I'm your son. You know, that's probably one of my favorite stories of the whole Bible.
Yeah. My dentist is Jewish. His name is Joseph, and I wore this like crazy jacket or whatever to his office one day, and I'm like, look, Doctor. His name is Silverman. I'm like, Doctor Silverman, look, it's Joseph in his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the Bible. He's like, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's a coat of many colors. Yeah. Honestly, I'm sitting here crying thinking about that story. It's so weird.
It is a magical story. Wizardry, in the Bible, where people are essentially LARPing wizardry in order to go and do, because it makes it more fun. It makes it more magical, mystical. Um, but, you know, when you look at a light bulb, you're like, oh, there's this thing called science and technology, and that's way more real than this poem. But without the poem, what do you even need the electricity and the light bulb for? But there's just like metaphors and symbols upon
Have you
symbols.
ever read that story I told you to read?
Which one?
It's called The Yellow Wallpaper.
No, I never heard you mention it. Wait, don't eat yellow snow?
No, The Yellow Wallpaper. It's an American, like literary short story that's very poignant.
No. Is it a poem? Just a short poem?
No, it's probably like a good 30 pages ish.
Oh, I see.
It's the story of a woman and like the turn of like the 19th to the 20th century. She was with this guy that was a really prominent family guy that was a trust fund baby, and he was kind of a fun boy, and he fucked around in all these brothels and shit. He got syphilis, and then she ended up she married him, and she was a virgin, and then she ended up trying to get her divorce from him because he gave her syphilis. And syphilis back then this is before the advent of like, penicillin. And syphilis, when it went to your brain, it would make you fucking go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
and this chick was like a super uber, like, literary kind of person. Like, she loved writing everything down, and she got locked in this room with her syphilis, crazy brain, and like the yellow wallpaper in the top of the room was like peeling down, and that was the thing that was driving her fucking nuts, was the yellow wallpaper peeling. And but she's writing the whole time while she's going through her dementia from syphilis, and and she's always talking about this fucking yellow wallpaper. It's a really interesting fucking story. Or maybe you don't care. I don't know.
No, I mean, it sounds good to me.
Yeah. Oh no, dude. You know me. I've always loved reading. I love reading.
Yeah, you took Marcus Aurelius with you to jail and gave it away for a clean pair of shorts.
Yeah, a pack of ramens. You ain't wrong. I still send $100 worth of books to the local jail every month. Like, people that don't even know me, they end up with a book, and they're like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, well, at least you got a book. They'd probably end up with a book of Aragon and be like, "What the fuck is Aragon? Fucking dragons and shit."
Have you seen the 1989 Excalibur? Or maybe 1984, I can't remember.
An '89 Excalibur, is that a car?
No, it's a movie. It's called Excalibur. I'll put the link at the top.
Oh, but did it have like Val Kilmer in it?
No, it had
like the guy. Did it look like a Willow type movie?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. I don't recall.
It's very good.
I mean, if it was a Val Kilmer, Willow type movie, talking about good old days, like in the Highlander, and there could only be one. No, I really don't recall that one.
What year were you born in?
75.
Yeah, this came out in 81, so you were 6.
First time I started smoking weed.
Let me pin it here. Watch this preview. You'll like it. It's I would say it's like in the top 50 best films ever made. It's very good. Ben is here. Ben, is there something you want to say, Ben? Ben is in the movie room in the subscribe podcast.
Oh, Ben 10?
No, his name is Ben. That's something. He left.
Well, what's up, bigger boy?
He left.
Dude, most people don't even actually have the ability to have a high vibration fucking conversation.
No, I know they don't. Most people are literally just here for the dopamine, and like they probably could care less what anybody's even saying or talking about because it's all just fucking soup salad bullshit.
And they're just listening to it.
Yeah, or just. I mean, it's very there's so many rooms here and so many cliques. Like, you and I are associates of a clique. And there's all these other like cliques that we're not associated with, but there's like 100 of them on the fucking app, and it's kind of.
Well, I mean, I'm out by those other cliques because of you.
Oh, you no responsibility. You take no responsibility. No, you put all the blame on me.
He said, I don't take no responsibility.
You fucking blame everything on me. You're like, yeah, people hate me because they hate. I'm like, oh, you sure everybody hates you because they hate me? Maybe it's a you problem too.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. Man, this meat's so good. I got 2 onions right now, but it's actually like a whole bunch of different quarters. So I have like a whole bunch of different strains. I'm just mixing them all together and putting them in a blend. Bro. Get me up.
All right, so the Subscribe podcast is going to see what's going on in the itty bitty titty.
Obviously. But by the time a human develops into adulthood, they have been
Whiny men should be
enculturated,
jailed.
and therefore they're already subjected. Enculturated.
Is that a word?
Inculcated. I don't know. I think enculturated is a word. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, but how does any of all that stuff have to do with anything regarding the fact that value is subjective?
It doesn't matter.
I agree with you. Because you guys made me rush my point. You rushed me.
Anyway, I was trying to communicate something to Simon. Can I give you the other way? Can I give you the example of how a story can communicate knowledge to another human that can't be done by science?
That's right.
You want that, or you don't want it? Like, we can keep.
Is this related to praxeology? How is this related to praxeology?
I wouldn't disagree with that. Okay,
so you're already on board, so I don't have to give the example.
You believe that value is objective, dude?
Value is objective. You just
No, it's
you
subjective, nigga.
So moral value is subjective.
Value is subjective.
Yeah, moral value is subjective.
Moral value is subjective.
Moral
I tried to explain
value
that.
is
You rushed me to land
objective.
the plane, Diego. You ruined my point.
All value is subjective.
No, all value is objective.
Ethical
Hold on.
debate
So
from moral
value,
perspectives
the
are
word
irrelevant.
value on itself requires subjectivity because it requires that the person that is
So
judging it
stupid.
is
It's the same conversation every day. People are trying to figure out how to use English language.
This is like Mama
It's
Jack.
literally like an ESL room.
Is subjective. Now, when we
Yeah,
talk
English is
about
a second language,
morality, is morality objective or is morality subjective?
I went to
I mean,
school for
you can make the
early,
claim that,
early
well,
childhood.
You
there
saw
are
her.
values or principles, if we don't want to call them values, that are objective, like
Okay, I'm out of there. It's just
Oh,
an
you're in
ESL room.
Isa's room. Oh, Jesus, Lord, Mary, Joseph, and all the apostles.
Yeah, it's just an ESL room for people learning English.
Yeah, that Isa, that Guatemalan Swedish bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. like she drives me fucking buggy. Like I did it honestly. On this app, that's one of my people that bother me. Probably on the highest level.
Yeah. I understand you, but I don't think you understand why a lot of these people may not get along with you. Because like I didn't meet you on this app, so like I have a different foundation of relationship and respect for you. Where these people, having met you on this app, and not necessarily respecting you, Diego is here.
Dude. Oh, I wish a motherfucker would be here, Diego.
Diego's like an American trying to figure out English for the first time. Dude,
Diego.
Diego.
What happened to Nora? Suck me out of my room. Your notification.
Diego.
Suck me out of the room.
Diego, we saw a lot of people saw your, presentation videos on the Prax Girl thing recently. And, and I mean, I didn't actually watch them, but like we were making fun of you. Oh, he left. He really can't stand being. Diego, are you there?
Yes, but I'm not supposed to be here. I'm just here for a second to finish your point.
Oh, the point is, it's like, it was like watching a kid in like freshman high school give a presentation, and then the teacher is like, that's really good. That's great. Thanks. Next speaker, please. I'm just saying, like, I hope you don't take yourself too seriously because, you know,
course not.
I know you don't have that much time on your hands because you're a busy man, but
Like the steak song, you know? That's too much time on my hands.
But if I may, Diego, I've never seen any video that I've heard about, like, you know, you and Nora. I've never seen any of it. But can I ask you personally, you know, Brian is my name, and like me to you, like, you know, what is your take on what went down?
My presentation? What are you talking
he's
about?
asking you your take on what happened to Nora. He's in my other subscribe podcast room.
What about Nora?
Oh, I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think if you saw how Issa treated Jameli right now, I think she was instigated. I don't know why she was selectively instigated, but I think that someone picked on her and she lost her temper.
That's what always happens. What always happens anytime anybody ever commits a
People
crime.
were saying that your mom, like, got the video recording into the Ring doorbell or like the security camera for the building and whatever. Like, they were putting you into the mix, saying your mom was the one that, like, you know, published all the video.
Doc, I don't even know if they can hear you that well.
Okay. I heard what he said. That's, I mean, my mom
Yeah.
is an elderly woman, so I don't know if.
Yeah, Doctor, you may be listening to Jazzy too much.
No, dude, listen, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying this is the stuff I've been hearing, and I've never seen one video, and I really don't give a shit.
Okay, hold on, Doctor. Let me interrupt, Doctor,
I
please.
don't even really know what I'm talking about right
Gentlemen, I wanted to go.
You shouldn't even be paying attention to me.
Gentlemen, please. I want to go back to the title of this room because I think it addresses a lot of these other rooms that you're participating in, which technically Issa Guatemalan and a lot of non-native English speakers, they're like Simon, they're arguing every day over subjective, subjective, and it is the dumbest thing I've ever heard because it's like, use a fucking dictionary, Google it. It's like, why are you guys wasting so much time arguing about the definition of words? Are people that stupid? So essentially, you know, I cannot participate in rooms like that and waste my precious time. And I just encourage you.
You don't want to teach people English for free, basically.
I don't want to do exactly. But Diego, you're like that type of a guy who will sit there.
Wait, hold on. But all communication is hypnosis. If we don't know what we're communicating, how do we hypnotize properly?
You really think English definitions?
From the dictionary, they say
It's called use a book, read a book. Don't hypnotize people. You're hypnotizing yourself and other people on word definitions. That gets you nowhere. You're still not stringing together any definitions to make intelligent sentences. So stop I'm just encouraging you as a man. Stop wasting your fucking time with these stupid people because you are a stupid person if you waste your fucking time with stupid people.
Let's be respectful and
Right. He's one in the other room.
Hey, I'm glad you said that, John, because I think you're stupid.
I'm stupid in the sense that I've stopped thinking. I no longer have problems like these stupid people.
Wait, I don't even know where. Zach, what room was I in? I got sucked in.
Now, is that subjective or objective?
Wait, you want to go back to talk about subjective, objective?
That's what Diego lives for. He's a stupid person.
Objective, subjective.
It's his forte.
Stupid.
It's his forte.
Stupid.
He's a self-taught economist, a praxeologist.
Diego, they didn't even let me make my point. You gave me a rude plane landing emoji.
Oh, that was just me joking around.
I know, but listen, because the human being,
That was just me playing around.
in order to find objective human behavior, you would have to run an experiment where you raise a human without any sort of teaching. You don't teach him that sex is, you don't teach him anything. Then by the time he's 10 years old, you say, all right, he's a human. He's doing human stuff. The problem is the kid would shit his pants and die. He would have an infection, festering infection between his legs because he never learned how to wipe his ass. By the time you teach a kid how to feed himself and wipe his ass, he's already been enculturated into the beliefs and value system of his culture. Therefore, there is no such thing as an objective moral framework.
I didn't follow that. The way that we.
That's because you're stupid.
the way that we determine what is objective, an objective moral framework is to ask a question like, can I make a claim over somebody else's property if I don't have a theory of property, for example? Like, what is property?
You can. Because somebody else has property and you go onto their property and you're like, I'm going to fish in this river because I have no concept of property. You have now made a claim on their property even though you have no concept of property.
But we can start to develop like objective outcomes, right? Like things that are going to happen. Like you're going to be in a state of dispute with that other person.
Not necessarily.
Hold on, gentlemen. There will be no more usage of the word objective or subjective in this room. If you want to use those words, go to Issa's room. Thank you very little.
With the idea that I had a friend that I served in the military with
should be jailed.
was in California. I'm in Georgia. He was in California, and
I'm so glad that she called.
he had a bunch of farm equipment like bulldozers. He dug a big ass pond, and then rainwater collected in the pond. When it rained from God, from above, and then the state of California put him in
Anyway,
jail.
tune in now to the subscribepodcast.com.
Because he collected
Subscribe now, please.
Yes, amen. Hey, let's start the morning with the meditation, Coach. I need to get my mind right. I got a meeting in an hour, so can you get some Alan Watson? Can you get some towers?
Yeah, how about some Allison Crowley?
Hey, Coach, are you there?
I said the name of a female country singer, not Alex Turner. You children need to grow up. I'm 50 years old and I still feel like I'm 18. Y'all motherfuckers sound like y'all are like all nothing. Well,
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I just made a beer. I made my beer mosa, my world famous beer mosa. If you ever come to Chicago, sir, I will make you one of these delicious beer
He got
mosas.
some orange in that. He like putting orange in his skin.
I do something kind of creative on the top. I put cinnamon on top of the beer foam. It's a beautiful little tasty cocktail that I know you're gonna love.
He's stupid as fuck. No, I mean, I really have enjoyed this app over the last 3 years, John. Like, straight up. Like, I know you talk about the whole dopamine kick and the way that we...
Randy keeps failing to identify the whole dichotomy between if there's no life, there can't be.
I never made the dichotomy to begin with.
Honestly,
Well, then I'm right, and my position is correct.
No, because you're arguing with yourself.
Simon.
When Mom passed away,
Yeah.
like,
Can we run a thought experiment by using one of Ayn Rand's
really
conversations about capitalism?
changed a lot about the way I think. And I really appreciate, you like me.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, thank you, because it takes two to tango, like you've been a study partner and a good friend, and, thank you. And thank you for your service, because you're the real deal. So, I salute you, sir.
I really don't know what I would be without this app, honestly. Like, I would probably drove myself crazy.
Yeah, probably. I agree. I think talk therapy does work because it gets the genie out of the system, gets the genie out of the bottle, and that's one of the problems is the bottle and the genie or the cup, you know. But I would just say that like, you know, you could be better. We could always be better. So, you know, I say try to take more control of the app, you know, for yourself and for others. Don't let toxic fat pieces of shit ruin your fucking day by wasting your fucking opportunity cost. If I was a consultant, you know, I would basically say, give me your phone right now, and I would block a lot of people. And I'd be like, okay, welcome to your new Clubhouse experience without these people in your life. Welcome to the new world, which is the world that you create, the world that you control, the the parallel society that you control. You know, that's really the control you want and you deserve and you need. So if I was your hypnotist consultant, I would, you know, but we're not, you know, I'm not going to do anything for you. This is all word hypnosis. I hope you take action.
Well, but if I ever get like, you know, my really good money up, I might hire you to be a fucking like, you know, life coach for a couple months.
I would say if we were really smart, we would use your money to train other life coaches. Or I think there's ways to like, you know, kill 2 to 3 birds with one stone in one foul swoop, multiple executions, you know, at the same time. Like there's no other way to grow fast and quick and exponentially. And, you know, this basically plays into line with franchising, but digital franchising, I think, is the future. And apps like this are the free tools we can use to create real businesses and real revenue across multiple verticals. I wouldn't even want to do a retail business or any kind of commercial business. Like everything can be done from your home on these apps now, and it's just platform to platform. There's like no overhead costs. If you're running a business and you're spending money and losing money daily, well, you're really stupid. You're totally wasting your time. Welcome, Zach, to the Subscribe Podcast. I boomed that fucking room because everybody in there, Zach, is a fucking moron. And I hope you appreciate the fact that I'm not afraid to chuck all those pieces of shit down the well where they belong. Because I'm not here to do ESL for free. I got to get paid for this shit.
Hello? Hello?
Could you imagine listening to Diego and Simon go for an hour about subjective moralism versus objective moral? Like, you guys, like, how do you say nothing by saying something? You do what you do. Like, literally, total waste of time, complete morons. And really, I can't stand how Issa is always sitting there, like, doing the dishes while, you know, doesn't mute up. And it's like, the whole thing is toxic and stupid. And you know, that's what you got to do with toxic, stupid shit. If somebody mods you, be a leader and chuck it down the fucking well.
Yeah, if you're tired of hearing dumb shit, stop listening to dumb shit.
And I don't mean chuck it down a well, because I like wells and I like water. So I guess chuck it into a fucking burn pit. Chuck it into a fucking burn pit where it belongs. Burn that shit.
Well, we spent $200 million in India to tell them to stop burning their trash.
Just the blissful silence is so much more satisfying than listening to that stupid shit. I can't stand it. Somebody on the YouTube is saying, big words and long silences, LOL.
Yeah, small dicks and fat pussies.
So, Zach, what are you doing today? What's going on right now in your life?
I'm cleaning my apartment and I'm going to do some money-making venture at 1 p.m. And then gonna try to do some shit before then on the computer, making a schedule for the summer. And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's your kid, John.
Yeah, scheduling is important. In the now. Zach, you know how I know Don, right? Don Danton.
AKA
No, I don't know.
at Don Wonton.
Doc,
I don't know.
Doc, tell Zach how we met.
He was trying to hit on me, and he said that I look pretty, and that he wanted to have sex with me. And then he played a space drum, and he said he never even had a lesson.
It was funny.
That's about what I expected. That's about what I expected.
I really like the space drum part. Not the gay part, the space drum part.
But we never made eye contact, so it wasn't gay. It wasn't gay yet.
So, I'm very happy that I was able to boom that room of fucking morons and burn them in a burn pit where they belong, in the dustbin of history. But the great thing about liberation and freedom is that to destroy, when, you can create by destroying. And I'm glad you guys are here right now. And I would like to read something because, I believe that is the best way that we can spend our times together. And thus, I invite you to join me at book club, where we all pick up a book like a man instead of an N-word, F-word, and we read a B-word to one another again, like civilized, intelligent, patriotic Americans.
Ooh.
Okay, this is called The Masonic Letter G by Dr. Paul Foster Case. I'm just going to randomly go to a page 46. It says, The Masonic Letter G. English letter G is actually a curve taken from a spiral. For it is our experience that when one is considering the meaning of a symbol devised by really wise men, every detail of it has significance. Certainly the Masonic lectures make just this claim, for they say, there is not an observance in Freemasonry which has not a deep significance. Seek diligently, and you will find the illustrations of its symbolic teachings almost infinite. But to return to our letter Gimel, its name is from the verb gaumal, spelled with the same three characters, but with different vowel points. This verb means 1, to bring an end or limit, hence to ripen; 2, to give according to desert, to reward, to recompense, to benefit. Who can fail to see the direct application of these ideas to Freemasonry? The work of the craft is designed to bring man from his rude state of ignorance to the highest possible limits of human attainment. It is a spiritual building process by means of which a man may incorporate into his character qualities which distinguish a ripened, perfected human being. When this ripening process is actually carried out, one is really raised to the sublime degree of Master Mason. Then one is fully competent, not only to travel in foreign countries, but also to receive master's wages. The ceremonies of the 3 degrees are simply dramatic outlines of the stages in this life process, and what they dramatize must be lived before one really becomes a Master Mason.
Can you stop right there?
Mm-hmm.
Repeat the last paragraph.
For
when you talk about, it takes 3 to be a master.
The ceremonies of the 3 degrees are simply dramatic outlines of the stages in this life process, and what they dramatize must be lived before one really becomes a Master Mason.
Well, most people, when they think about the Masons, they're like, oh yeah, the 33rd degree. I'm like, dude, there's only like 5 33rds on any given year. Like, 32nd is like really fucking high. But once you pass the 3rd degree of Masonry, you're considered a master Mason.
It says, this is the last part of this paragraph. It says, and mark well the fact that the just reward according to desert, the master's wage received by one who has completed his journey from west to east, is designated by a Hebrew word spelled by the same characters as those composing the Hebrew name of the letter G. I can continue if you want to hear more.
Let me ask you a question, John.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you walk through the woods with?
I don't know who. Who? 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 Who?
The next question would be, who do you walk through the woods with at night?
Who? Every question is a trick question. Do you think trick questions are trick questions, or do you think questions are trick questions?
I think that I'm not allowed to talk about things that I don't know about.
Have you heard of Clown House? Do I need to remind you where the fuck you're at right now? Go to any room right now, and you will hear people talking about shit they don't fucking know a thing about.
Hello?
Do I need to live stream another room into this room to prove to you that this app is a fucking sanitarium?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Oh, Steven is here. Trinity Farmer. Try.
And try again.
Try. All hail Steven, the psychedelic kitty cat.
Meow. Meow. What up, motherfuckers?
Meow.
What in the South African is we listening to?
You don't know what you're listening to? That's okay, Doc. We don't expect you to.
Okay, so we were just reading about the magic letter G, as in Gimel or G-Man, or the G-spot. Any other comments, questions, ideas, or concerns about the G-spot?
Well, I mean, you kind of have to, make your thumb and your finger look like a G when you kind of reach up inside there and, tickle it from the inside.
Okay. This is the final question I have for the room before we shut down operations and leave and go to the gym or I read a book. The point is, I would like each and every one of you in this room, yes, to try to answer.
Your fat ass is gonna keep drinking alcohol with fucking oranges in it.
I don't know how you do it, John. I don't know how you do it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Give the
dude,
patience.
his blood urea nitrogen has got to be on
I don't
point.
know how you do it.
Oh, I assure you, Zach, I could show you how I do it, but I could also just send you I could send you a YouTube link. I could send you a YouTube link, Zach, and you could just literally look over my shoulders and see how I do it. The point is, this is the challenge. And Zach, I do want you to answer this question, so don't leave until you try. This is the question I want each of you to try to answer before I shut down the room. The question is as follows. What is the answer to the super secret, hard to answer riddle question of the universe? Thank you very little. Go ahead. Try to answer the super secret riddle question of all the ages. Go ahead.
Your mom. Your mom.
Okay, we got your mom.
Trick question. Trick question.
Don.
Oh, I don't know. An agent just flew over my house. I was thinking about that. What's up?
Try to answer the super secret mystery riddle question of all the ages. What is that? Oh, JB could maybe try to answer the question.
Oh, I know that one.
Okay, what's your answer? It's the if I wanted to compress or summarize.
The question is, what is the meaning of life? And then,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
you know, then the answer would be, you know, an introspective version of me peeing on my beer cans.
Damn, that's fucking disgusting. Okay, but I guess you reframed it with what is the meaning of life? I like that, you know, reframing. That's fine. So again, we have your mom. It's a trick question. And what is the meaning of life? Those were the three responses to the question about the super secret, hard to riddle, you know, super secret, impossible riddle that nobody can answer. Those were the three amazing answers we got. Zach, do you want to maybe update your possible answer to what is the meaning of life?
No, I feel good about my answer. I think that it's an unanswerable question. Only a fool will try to answer it.
I'd like to re-answer my.
I can answer that question. I can answer that question in one word.
That's the
one
answer.
Word I can answer that question.
I like that answer. One word.
One word. What is the meaning of life? The answer is happiness.
Okay, great. Happiness.
42.
See, Don, did you understand when I said that your response was almost perfect when you said one word? Like, that is actually probably a better response even than happiness, because it's like the next level. Meaning that, what is that one word? Is there one secret word? If you knew that word, you would have the happiness. Do you know what that one word is? We just read about the letter G.
It's 42, man. That's the answer.
Honestly,
420?
for me, you know, the way I met you, when I first met you, John, and we were in a room, and you were going, oh. And like honestly, that sound, I don't even know if that's a word, but when I met you, that was kind of, you know, never mind.
It's called an ohm, you twat waffle.
Oh. Some of the comments in the YouTube are. Said, I wish you all the best in life, mate. Is Zach a minister? To grow and transform mindset, healthy thinking, we're growing at people. We are growing. I agree, we are growing. Okay, this has been my 2-hour morning podcast. Any final comments, questions, ideas, or opinions before I leave these rooms and maybe read a book?
Yeah, you're a pussy, and you need to go fucking get rid of your blood urea nitrogen, you fucking god-ass motherfucker.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, do you have a buildup of uric acid?
Let me drink some water to that.
Yeah, put more fucking oranges in your beer.
Fucking tap water is disgusting, I gotta say. I can fucking taste. In Chicago, you know, if the more liberal your city, you know the more contaminated your fucking water is, basically.
What? Tell me you're poor without telling me you're poor.
Man, I am rich in spirit and rich in wisdom, and I am rich in
Hey, he had to pull the religious bullshit out of his fucking tailbone.
Well, when you go low, I go high. That's the way religious Zen masters do things.
You know, can you go low?
Zen masters are cool and calm and collected in all communication. Zen masters are always calm, cool, and collected.
Hey, close this room down. Dude, you know me, I'll be a social butterfly on this bitch for the next dopamine hour.
Well, I hope you come to my reading room and you meditate. Because if you don't meditate,
Fucking yourself.